Hey guys, Kyle here with the Desert Sportsman. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. This is a brand new channel that I'm starting out, so there's a lot that's going to go on in the future. On this channel, you'll see everything related to hunting and fishing in the desert Southwest. Some of the topics that we're going to cover are gear reviews, hunting and fishing tactics, along with wild game food prep. So like I said, hit that subscribe button. Like this video if you could for me. Make sure you put on the notification bell so you get notified when I upload a new video, and enjoy the journey with me. So on today's episode, I want to do a little gear review on something I just picked up. It's called hopefully I don't butcher this name, the Zune Lotoo F-A3 Survival Tactical Shovel. So some backstory on this. Some coworkers and I got one for our supervisor as kind of a going away gift. He's a big outdoorsman, goes to Alaska a lot, things like that. So we thought that this might be a really useful gift. Most people give him like a plaque or something like that. We figured we'd get him something kind of useful, and I saw this online, read some reviews on it, had some amazing reviews. So I ordered one for him. Well, of course, as soon as I got it, I had to take it out and kind of play with it and stuff like that. I decided, you know what, I kind of want one for myself. So full disclosure here, again, brand new channel, so I'm not sponsored. I didn't get this for free. I paid for this myself. So this is going to be an honest gear review, my true thoughts on it. At the time that I purchased it, it was $215 on Amazon, free Prime shipping, but there was some taxes along with it. I think it was like $230 something out the door, shipped to my home. So first thoughts are this case that it comes with. From what I was reading on other reviews, it didn't always come with this case. This was like an added extra option. But from what I can see now, it looks like all of them come in this case. The case seems pretty sturdy, a nice material. I like it a lot. There's actually a lot of extra pockets in here for other gear if you want to add to it. It's got a belt loop here, but I'll be honest, I kind of wish that it had MOLLE straps on the back. My hunting pack has MOLLE on it. It's a military style pack. It's got a MOLLE system on it, so I kind of wish that it had the MOLLE straps as an option just to strap it to my pack, because this is something I'd rather not put inside. The total weight in the pouch is 4.2 pounds, so not that heavy when you consider some of the tools that this might be able to replace. This is not something that I would carry in my hunting pack all the time necessarily, at least not for day trips hunting. If it's just going to be a day trip, I'll just have this in the truck. Now obviously if I'm doing some real deal camping, where I'm doing some hiking miles away, camping out of my backpack, this would be a very valuable tool to have. So let's break into it. I've already kind of messed around with it a little bit, tried to learn some from it. One downside I see from the instructions is it doesn't exactly give you a guide on what all the tools are for. Looks like there's a bunch of features that the instructions don't even discuss at all. So it's kind of like figure it out along the way. So in this rear pouch, you will find the sheathed actual shovel head. Right off the bat, one of the things I noticed that this is heavy duty construction. It's real deal steel. It's not cheap aluminum crap or anything like that. It's real deal steel. Nice shaped head. One of the things that they talk about is this blunt point is reinforced somehow. It's for like chiseling, things like that. Maybe to use as a pickaxe, something like that. It's got an axe edge on this side, and then they call this a battle axe edge. So that's another critique that I might have for them, is I don't see the point in having two axe edges. Maybe that's a convenience thing. What I could see more useful on this side actually would be a blunt side to use as kind of a hammer to hammer like tent stakes, things like that. It does have grips on the top for your foot to drive into the ground if you need to, but again, this is pretty heavy duty material, it seems like. The head itself articulates. It might be easier once I get it onto the handle, but I'll show you that in a minute. So in the pouch you have several handle sections, I think. I should have done my research right before this video, but like I said, I'm kind of excited to show it off. I think it's about 39 inches total length. So not just a small little camp shovel by any means. It's a pretty decent length shovel. This last handle section out of here. So you have your very bottom section, then you have several middle sections. Bottom section has this blunt end. There's a special feature in here that I will talk about in a moment. You have some blank non-rubber gripped middle sections. Now another thing I should note is each one of these middle sections, they are hollow and they do have rubber O-rings, which leads me to believe they're designed to store things and be waterproof, which is kind of handy to store matches, whatever you want in there, kindling paper, something like that in there. So that's kind of handy, although I'll be honest, I'm going to keep it in the pouch with the sections separated apart, so not too handy. That makes it not waterproof since the O-rings don't come into effect that way. But as you can see already, this is a pretty decent length handle here. And the last section is another grip. And then finally the shovel head itself. If I can get it on there, there we go. So as you can see, I'm a decently tall guy. I'm 5'11". Obviously I'm crouched down for the video, but this is a decent length shovel. As I mentioned before, the shovel head articulates at several different positions. This would be really good for trenching or whatever. I mean, it's got several different degrees of options here that you could use for all sorts of different methods. Now I just noticed as I was talking to you, when I was talking about instead of having this battle axe edge, maybe creating a hammer out of that edge. However, I just now noticed that it's got a really bulky flat section here that could be used as a blunt object or hammer to hammer tent stakes, something like that. Another feature that they never talk about in their instructions, let's see if I can get real close here and show it. This little hook section here, and hopefully you can see the cross section of it. To me it almost looks like a wire cutter or cable cutter. In other words, you slide it in there and it will actually articulate and possibly cut wire or cable or something like that. Again, they don't talk about it in their instructions at all, but if I was a betting man, and I'm not, but if I was a betting man, I'd say that's probably what it's designed for. So again, decent length handle, real heavy construction, feels really, really solid in my hands. I'll test it out for you guys in a moment, but first I want to talk about some of the other features. So, it actually comes with 3 different attachments here. I'm going to lay them out here so I don't lose them here. So the first attachment is a knife blade, and it's pretty handy that these handles are multi-use. So this bottom section, and I believe this knife blade will fit into any section you want, pretty much. But I like this bottom handle because it's got the pommel grip, or the pommel on the back end of it. But this knife blade fits perfectly into that and makes a decent, not too impressive, but a decent little camp knife. But also this other feature I was talking about before, on the bottom of this handle, we actually have a ferro rod. And again, I'm going to bring it in close, so hopefully you guys can see that. So we have a ferro rod that fits right into the bottom of this handle. Pretty handy to have. And on the blade itself, you see those serrations. I imagine that is for striking your ferro rod. So there's I'm kind of shaky here. There we go. There's your blade. Not a bad little Tonto style blade. But again, it's kind of handy that your ferro rod sits right in there. I'm not going to test a ferro rod for you guys. I assume it works, but you guys, I'm sure, have seen ferro rods work. Another handy aspect about this is, so I've got the knife blade on. It actually fits directly back into the shovel handle. So you can keep that knife blade on. If you don't want to, put it back in the pouch. If you want to just have this shovel complete at your campsite, you can. And you can have your attachments there. Another cool feature of this, or another attachment rather, wrong section here, is kind of what I describe as a spear fishing point. So this section right here, so it's kind of like what I imagine to be kind of a spear fishing point. Also, it does appear to have a skinning type blade on there of some sort, maybe a saw, something like that, multi-use, and then obviously a bottle opener. So again, multi-use handle. This, what I imagine to be most useful is as a spear fishing point or frog gigging, wherever you may be. Fits directly into this handle to use as a little spear of some sort. And again, fits right into that next handle with no problems whatsoever. Next little attachment, or the last little attachment, is a whistle. It also screws into one of the handles. I don't really see the point of either the whistle or the screwing into the handle. I feel like if you need a whistle for survival, you probably shouldn't be out there anyway. Another feature or tool that it comes with is a little rope saw or chainsaw or whatever you want to call it. I haven't tested it yet, but I'm going to here shortly. And it's kind of tangled, but I'll be testing all this stuff out for you guys right here in front of you, so that way you can get my honest opinion of it. And man, this thing is tangled. So again, nice little decent length. Feels decently strong. We'll see if I break it right off the bat. So that's the overview of it. And now to what I'm sure you guys want to see, and it's the actual use of it. Now I will say that this axe edge is not sharp at all. As you can see, I'm running my fingers across there. Some reviews, yeah, there's no edge on it pretty much whatsoever. Some other reviews talked about that, and as I mentioned before, it didn't always come with this carry case from what I can tell. And so one of the thought processes about it not having an actual edge is because it shipped shovel only before, they purposely did not have an edge on it for safety of shipping purposes, and you were expected to add your own edge to it. I'm going to try it without an edge on it to see how well it chops. I'm certain, based on the design, once I get an edge on it, it will chop just fine. But we'll see how it does without much of an edge at all. So let me clear some room here, and hopefully you guys will be able to see what I'm doing. So again, I read many reviews before I bought this for my supervisor, and saw some videos of people really putting this thing to work. Alright, so again guys, this is my first use with it. I'm going to try and make sure that you guys get a good view of it. Everything's nice and tight. Well, it definitely stuck in there pretty good. Take my sunglasses off here. We're going to go for this bigger log because maybe it'll stay in place a little better. So that's one issue I may see is as you're trying to drive in at an angle to chip out, it may come loose. So that's the axe end. It is chipping away. Again, the head keeps coming loose. But I honestly can't complain about that too much because again, this is for, survival situations. Hopefully you've got other tools available. But again, as I mentioned, this is supposed to, for me anyway, I was hoping to use this to replace other tools that way I don't have to carry around a little camp hatchet, things like that. So as you can see, it did do some damage to it. It's chipping it. I've got full faith, even with this dull edge, that I would be able to work hard enough to get through it. Now let's try this battle axe side. Yep, it's definitely chipping. It's not chipping as well as the other side. I don't see any deformation, any warping, nothing like that. Let's go back to the other side and just really all right. I don't see any blunting, deformation, nothing. I'll give you guys a good look at that. Obviously there's some staining from the wood, but it's kept its profile. I don't see any warping whatsoever on either side of it. All right, so my overall impressions of the shovel itself, well-built design, not designed to completely replace a full-size axe or anything like that. But for something that only weighs 4.2 pounds that you can add into your camping pack without too much sacrifice, can't really complain about it. Let's give it a try on some shoveling here. See how well she shovels. This is pretty soft ground, so I mean, take it for what it's worth, but it'll definitely move some dirt around. Let's see if we're gonna make a little trench here. Oh yeah, you know, I could use this in the garden. Nice little trencher. Again, this is not the toughest ground by any means, but I could definitely build a fire pit out of this. All right guys, so last thing really to test, I think, we'll see if this breaks or what, is this little chainsaw. Now, since this log is not attached to anything, it's going to be a little challenging, but we're going to give it a go. Now it gets a little hung up here. Yeah, it's getting a little hung up. Maybe if I don't. I mean, it's definitely cutting. Seems like it wants to catch quite a bit. Part of that could be because this wood is so dry. Yeah, it's gonna catch. Maybe if I don't give it so much to bite. Yeah, it's definitely cutting through. So, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pick that up on the camera. I'm about a ½ inch in, so it would be quite a bit of work to use this, but it seems fairly sturdy. The rings make it to where you, without like some work gloves on, would not be very comfortable to really pull on it. But again, survival situation. Where there's a will, there's a way kind of thing. So my overall impressions of this, for approximately $230 by the time you do taxes and stuff like that, depending on obviously what the price is at the time you order, is it worth it? I don't know that it's worth it. I definitely am happy that I got it. This is something that's going to go in my pack. Every time I do a long trip, it's always going to be my truck. It's like any other survival tool. You want to get something really good quality so that way, if you need to use it, it's going to work for you. This tool will work for what I need it for. For chopping wood, for digging trenches, for digging fire pits, sawing logs, whatever. It's nice and compact, fairly lightweight, well built. So yeah, I'm gonna say that overall I would recommend the tool. Just don't know about the value for the price. For that, you're gonna have to really reach into your own heart and decide if it's worth it. Decide what tools that you normally carry in your pack that you could replace by having this one tool. So anyway guys, if you guys are interested in this, on reading more about it, or ordering one for yourself, again, I am not affiliated with Zune Lotoo. I think that's how you pronounce their name anyway. The F-A3, I think it's called the F-A3 Annihilate, but I will have a link to it, the Amazon link to it, in my description. So like I said before guys, it's a brand new channel, so make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever I do post a new video. I plan on doing a bunch more videos, not just like this, but hunting videos as well. I am currently in my javelina hunting spot. I've been here a couple times, no luck so far, lots of signs, so hopefully before too long we will have a javelina video posted up for you. Anyway guys, happy hunting and take care.